Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Learn English with Confidence. Today, we are going to talk about one of the biggest obstacles for English learners everywhere: translating while speaking. You know the feeling. You want to say something in English, but first, your mind builds the sentence in your native language. Then you try to find each English word, one by one, and by the time you finish, the conversation has already moved on. It's frustrating, right? You know the words, you know the grammar, but the sentences just don't come out naturally. In this episode, we're going to change that. You'll learn why you translate, what actually happens inside your brain when you do it, and most importantly, how to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. Why do we translate? Let's start with understanding the problem. Translating happens because, for most learners, English is not the first language they use to think in. Since childhood, your brain has stored all ideas in your native language. When you learn English later, your mind builds a bridge between your language and English. Every time you speak, your brain crosses that bridge. It goes from your language to English to speech. This process takes time. That's why your speech feels slow or unnatural. It's not because you're bad at English, it's because your brain is still taking the long road instead of the direct one. To stop translating, you need to build new connections directly between ideas and English words. When you see an apple, you should think apple, not the word in your first language. When you want to say I'm hungry, your mind should feel that phrase naturally, without translation. Example of translation: delay. Let's take a simple example. You want to say, I need to buy some milk. If you translate, your brain goes like this. 1. Thinks of the idea in your language. 2. Searches for English words. 3. Checks grammar. 4. Finally speaks. That's 3 extra steps. But when you think in English directly, your mind skips steps 1 to 3. You simply feel the sentence and say it. It's just like how native speakers do. They don't build grammar. They speak from feeling and habit. What happens in your brain? Your brain is like a computer. Every time you translate, you open 2 programs: your native language and English. Running both together uses more memory, more time, and more energy. That's why speaking feels difficult. But when you think directly in English, you're using only one program. It's faster, smoother, and more natural. So the goal is to train your brain to use only the English program when you speak or listen. Step 1. Start with simple thoughts. The first way to stop translating is to start thinking small, in simple English thoughts. For example, instead of thinking, "Man uth rahahun," I am waking up, just directly think, I'm waking up. Do this with every small action you perform during your day. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. It's raining. I'm going to work. When you create these mini sentences in your mind, you train your brain to build direct English connections. Don't worry about being perfect. The key is repetition. Step 2. Label your world. Another easy method is labeling things around you in English. Look at your surroundings right now. If you see a chair, say chair in your mind. If you pick up your phone, think phone. This helps your brain connect images directly to English words. No translation in between. After some time, you'll automatically start thinking in English whenever you look at something familiar. Step 3. Shadowing. The word shadowing means listening to a native speaker and immediately repeating what they say. Like a shadow follows a person. For example, listen to a short English clip or podcast line, then repeat it instantly, copying the tone and speed. This trains your mouth and brain to move together without thinking about translation. When you shadow regularly, you'll notice your mind focusing on sound and meaning, not grammar rules. Step 4. Accept imperfection. Many learners delay speaking because they want every sentence to be perfect. But perfection is the enemy of progress. Native speakers make mistakes too. They just keep talking. So, allow yourself to make small errors. When you stop worrying about being perfect, your brain relaxes and natural speech begins to flow. Remember, confidence is not about being perfect. It's about continuing to speak even when you're not. That's the end of part 1. In the next part, we'll go deeper into practical techniques that transform your brain from translating to thinking directly in English, with daily routines, vocabulary methods, and real examples. Now that you understand why translation happens and how it slows you down, let's talk about the real part, daily training. Because thinking in English is not a switch you can flip in one day. It's a habit you build slowly, by using English in your daily life. Just like you don't go to the gym once and become strong. You practice every day, and the muscles grow. Your brain works exactly the same way. Every small effort adds up. The rule of 15 minutes. If you practice English consciously for 15 minutes a day, every single day, your brain begins to adapt. It doesn't need hours, it needs consistency. So here's the rule. Every day, spend 15 minutes thinking only in English. You can do it anywhere, while walking, eating, or lying on your bed. You just describe your surroundings and your actions in English. For example, I'm sitting on the sofa. I'm holding my phone. The light is bright. I feel calm. They're simple sentences, but this small exercise trains your mind to connect ideas to English words automatically. Journaling in English. Another powerful method is writing a daily English journal. Take a notebook, and every night write a few lines about your day. In English, it doesn't have to be perfect grammar. The goal is to make your mind express ideas directly in English. For example, today was a good day. I met my friend at the park. We talked about our work. I felt happy and relaxed. This builds a connection between your thoughts and the English language. After a few weeks, you'll notice that when you think about your day, your mind automatically starts using English phrases. That's when you'll know you're no longer translating. Listening. Practice with awareness. Listening is another key. Many learners listen to English music or shows, but don't listen actively. Active listening means focusing on both meaning and pronunciation. When you hear a sentence, repeat it softly in your head. Try to imagine the situation, what the speaker is saying, how they feel. For example, if you hear, "I can't wait to see you," don't just hear the words, feel them. Imagine that excitement of meeting someone. That emotional connection helps your brain remember phrases as feelings, not as translation. Thinking exercise. Describe what you see. Let's practice together right now. Look around you. What do you see? You can start describing your room aloud or in your mind. There is a table in front of me. My laptop is on the table. The window is open, and I can see the trees outside. This is real thinking in English. You're not reading a book or translating. You're connecting language directly to reality. Thinking exercise. Describe what you feel. Now, take a moment and focus on your emotions. How do you feel right now? Maybe you're focused, relaxed, or tired. Try saying it in English. I feel focused. I'm a little tired, but I'm learning something new. I'm proud of myself for practicing. Emotional words are important because they make English personal. The more you describe your feelings in English, the more comfortable you become with spontaneous speaking. Step-by-step routine to stop translating. Here's a simple daily routine you can follow. If you do this for even 2 weeks, you'll feel a big difference. Morning, 5 minutes. Think in English about your day. I'm going to work. I have a meeting today. I need to eat breakfast. Afternoon, 5 minutes. Describe your surroundings. I see many people on the street. It's hot and sunny. The traffic is loud. Evening, 5 minutes. Write or say a short summary of your day. Today was busy, but I learned something new. I watched an English video. I'm improving every day. 15 minutes in total. That's all it takes to begin changing how your mind processes English. Learn phrases, not words. Here's another secret. If you only memorize single words, your brain can't form natural sentences. But if you learn phrases, you'll start speaking more fluently without translation. For example, instead of learning hungry, learn the full phrase, I'm feeling hungry. Instead of learning busy, learn, I've been really busy lately. Instead of tired, learn, I'm a bit tired, but I'll be okay. When you memorize phrases, your brain remembers the music of English, the natural rhythm and tone. So when you speak, you don't have to build sentences word by word. They flow naturally. The power of repetition. Repetition is magic. When you repeat a phrase many times, your brain creates a direct path between idea and English expression. That's how children learn. They don't study grammar. They repeat what they hear until it becomes natural. So choose 5 or 10 useful phrases and say them daily. How's it going? I'll do it later. That's a good idea. I'm not sure about that. Let's get started. Say them slowly, then faster, then naturally. The more you repeat, the less your brain needs to translate. The shadowing technique in practice. Let's do a small shadowing practice right now. Listen to this line in your head and then repeat after me. I'm learning English every day. It's getting easier to speak. I don't need to translate anymore. This simple habit helps your brain and mouth work together like a team. It builds fluency, the ability to speak smoothly without thinking about each word. Step 5. Switch your input to English. If your environment is full of your native language, your mind will always return to it. So try to surround yourself with English input, songs, podcasts, YouTube videos, articles. At first, it may feel difficult. You might not understand everything, but that's okay. Your brain is learning patterns, pronunciation, rhythm, and structure. Gradually, your listening comprehension will grow, and your inner voice will start speaking English automatically. Remember, don't fight your native language. Many learners try to completely block their native language, but that can cause frustration. Your first language is not the enemy. It's your foundation. You're not deleting it. You're building a second system next to it. So be patient with yourself. When your mind switches back to your language, gently return to English. No pressure, just practice. Part 3. Confidence and Fluency Building. When learners start thinking in English, one problem often remains: lack of confidence. Even after practicing, many people hesitate before speaking. Their mind goes blank. They think, what if I make a mistake? Or, what if I sound strange? Let's understand this clearly. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. Confidence comes from being comfortable with imperfection. Confidence means I can communicate. When you speak, your goal is not to sound like a native speaker. Your goal is to make the other person understand you. That's it. Many people worry too much about grammar or accent. But remember, communication is the real goal of language. If you say, "He go to office yesterday," the grammar isn't perfect, but people still understand you mean he went to the office yesterday. So don't freeze when you make a small mistake. Smile, continue, and correct yourself if you remember. That's how fluency grows. Practice in front of a mirror. This is one of the simplest yet most powerful confidence exercises. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself in English for 2 to 3 minutes. Describe your day, your plans, your thoughts, anything. Watch your facial expressions, your mouth, and your body language. When you do this daily, you start becoming familiar with your own English voice. You stop judging yourself because you see that you can speak clearly and confidently. At first, you may feel shy or awkward, but after a week, it becomes normal, even fun. Replace negative thoughts. Whenever your brain says, "My English is not good," immediately answer back with, "I'm improving every day." When your brain says, "I can't think fast," say, "I'm learning to think faster." It takes time. Remember, your mind listens to your words. If you keep saying, "I can't," your brain believes it. If you say, "I'm learning," your brain opens up and grows. Confidence is a habit, just like language. You build it with repetition. Don't aim for perfect sentences. Fluency is not perfection. It's smooth communication. Even native speakers don't speak perfectly all the time. They say things like, "You know, I mean, sort of, like." These are called filler words. They help you keep talking while thinking. So if you forget a word, don't stop. Use fillers. For example, I went to the supermarket, and I bought some fruits. That's completely natural. You're still speaking English confidently. Speak slowly. Don't rush. Many learners think fluency means speaking fast. But that's not true. Fluency means speaking clearly and smoothly, not quickly. When you speak too fast, you make more mistakes and lose confidence. When you speak slowly, you sound calm and in control. So next time you speak English, Imagine you are explaining something important. Take small pauses. Breathe between sentences. Your words will sound confident and natural. Practice with real-life situations. Confidence grows when you use English in real life. Not only during study time. Start small. Order your coffee in English if possible. Talk to a friend or online partner in English for 5 minutes. Write your social media captions in English. These small actions train your mind to use English as a tool, not as a subject. Every small success, even one correct sentence, adds to your confidence. Talk aloud, even when you're alone. If you don't have anyone to talk to yourself. Yes, really. Speak your thoughts out loud. For example, when cooking, say, "I'm cutting the vegetables. Now, I'll add some salt. It smells really good." When walking, say, "The weather feels nice. There are so many people outside." These small sentences connect thinking and speaking directly in English. You're training your mouth and brain together. No translation, no hesitation, just expression. Celebrate small wins. Many learners only notice their mistakes. But you should also notice your progress. If today you spoke one full sentence without translating, celebrate that. If you understood a YouTube video without subtitles, celebrate that. If you remembered a phrase while speaking, celebrate that too. Because progress is not about perfection, it's about improvement. Every little step matters. Relax your mind. While speaking, when you speak English, don't push yourself too hard. If your brain feels tense, your words get stuck. But when you relax, the words come more easily. So take a deep breath before speaking. Smile. Imagine you are talking to a friend, not giving a test. That friendly mindset helps your natural English come out. Don't translate feelings. Feel them in English. This is a powerful step toward true fluency. When you feel happy, don't think, "Men kush hoon, I am happy." Just feel, "I am happy." When you're tired, don't think, "Main thak gaya hoon, I'm tired." Just feel, "I'm tired." Link the emotion directly to English words. When emotions and language connect, translation disappears automatically. Speak to learn. Don't learn to speak. This means don't wait until your English is perfect to start speaking. You speak to learn. Every mistake you make is a lesson, not a failure. The more you speak, the more natural you sound. So never say, "I'll start speaking when I'm fluent." Start now, and fluency will follow. Build a small talk. Mindset. When you meet people, don't overthink what to say. Start with small, easy topics. How's your day? What do you do? The weather is nice today. These conversations build real confidence. You'll realize English is not only for classrooms, it's for life. Step-by-step growth plan. Here's a simple growth plan you can follow every month. Week 1. Focus on thinking in English. Describe your surroundings daily. Week 2. Write a daily English journal. Don't worry about grammar. Week 3. Speak aloud for 5 minutes daily about your day. Week 4. Record yourself speaking. Listen and notice small improvements. When you follow this plan for even 30 days, you'll see massive improvement, not just in English, but in confidence and self-belief. Final message. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to translate. You don't need to compare yourself with others. All you need is one thing: daily effort. If you keep practicing, even for a few minutes a day, your English will start flowing naturally. And one day, without even noticing, you'll realize you're speaking English confidently, smoothly, and effortlessly.